The You're Still Here podcast is proudly brought to you by Wikipedia, the online encyclopedia that everybody uses at some point in their life, but they probably shouldn't because many of these entries are edited by people like me. Oh yeah, that's right. And this obviously is not brought to you by Wikipedia. But if you're one of these people who routinely uses Wikipedia, you might want to think twice about it, or you might want to use a backup just in case. Or double check your sources like the old journalists used to do. Use two sources. Now, that's all out the window. But you might want to do that because I have routinely edited miscellaneous Wikipedia pages just to see if people were going to switch them back. Like I'll tell you, I remember when I was in college, my roommate and myself, we used to love playing some old school hockey games. Like we used to play NHL 94 because they rolled it into one of the newer NHLs. And then once in a while, we would play Nintendo games, NES 8-bit games. If you're not familiar with these games, youngsters, let's just say it ain't Fortnite, okay? These were extremely simple games, so much to the point where they could only input so many sounds into them. Like when you played a hockey game, there was only a few sounds. For example, when the period started, it would go face off. Face off. You could say that word, face off. Like it had a few sentences. No, I'm sorry, not sentences. Just a few words. Face off. Just a few words. And one of the phrases / words that was worked into this game, Blades of Steel, a hockey game that we played, was, it sounded like, "It's the pass. It's the pass." I'll see if I can pull the sound for you, but it sounded like "It's the pass." And it was when you made a pass, it went "It's the pass." And we thought that it said "Pits the pass," like how like a cherry pit pits the pass. And I don't know what that means. We just thought maybe they had trouble and that it's actually makes the pass and it just "Makes the pass, pits the pass." And I don't know. It's obviously not clear at 8-bit, so we just thought it was some sort of distortion with "makes the pass." So we went to the Wikipedia page for Blades of Steel to see what it actually was or if it would even have it listed, and it did all right, and it was "hits the pass." And the reason we didn't think of that, because you'd say, how would you not think of that? You thought it was "pits the pass." Why wouldn't you say or think it was "hits the pass"? Now, the reason we wouldn't think that is because nobody says that in hockey. My whole life of watching, playing, nobody's ever said, "Oh my God, hits the pass up the middle." No. It would be, he makes the pass up the middle. But it was "hits the pass." So here's what we did, because we didn't feel like that was an accurate representation of what the game said. If you polled 100 people who heard that sound right now, they'd go, "I don't know, I think it says "pits the pass." Nobody would say "hits the pass." They'd say "pits the pass." So we went into that Wikipedia, we edited the document, and we changed the "hits the pass" to "pits the pass." And maybe it's changed back now, but I know we sporadically checked after, and when we looked, it still said "pits the pass" from our edit. So anytime you want to start trusting Wikipedia, you might want to think twice about that because, I'm pits and passes. And now, obviously, you can't do that for main things that everybody has their eyes on. Like I can't go into Wikipedia and change the UFC results from this past weekend because obviously somebody's going to notice that and either switch it right back or I don't know how it works, but I'm not going to get away with that one. I did watch that though, by the way. I watched the UFC pay-per-view this past weekend. It was Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler for the UFC vacated lightweight championship, because the dude, undefeated Khabib, he left, so they fought for his title. And this guy, Charles Oliveira, he won, and I was happy because anytime a guy puts in a long body of work, kind of gets disrespected, has to just take a really long time, this is pretty arrogant of me, but then I just feel like there's a little of me in there, putting in all the years and to hope that there's an eventual championship waiting for me. So it was his night. He won. It was great to see. He made one mistake, though. He made one mistake. He had his hair dyed fully blonde. He clearly has black hair. And everyone on his team dyed their hair blonde as well. It looked like the real Slim Shady music video when they were all together. And that was the mistake they made. They needed to just walk out. When he made his entrance, it needed to be to the real Slim Shady. And then he should have walked out to the octagon like Eminem walked out to the VMAs in 1999 when he came out and there were all those M&Ms with the white t-shirt and the jeans and the bleach blonde hair who walked into Radio City Music Hall behind Eminem. That's what Charles Oliveira should have done on his way out. And that's a suggestion to anybody in the UFC. You need an interesting entrance. Have your whole team dye their hair blonde as well as you and put white t-shirts and blue jeans on all of them and head to that octagon circa the real Slim Shady 1999. Also with Wikipedia, how great is it when they ask you for money? Like they ask you for $1. Like, hey, we really got to keep Wikipedia alive. We know you guys love it. We just need you. We kind of just need you to throw us $1 or something. We'll be all right. And despite the fact that you have used Wikipedia hundreds of times, everybody you have ever known has used Wikipedia at some point to try to win some argument, to look up some obscure piece of information. We've all used it, yet they ask us for a simple $1 and we refuse every single time. We refuse every time. It's like we're insulted. How dare you? How dare you, Wikipedia, you place that's actually trying to give us knowledge across the world? How dare you ask us for $1 to stay in operations? No. Lose money, hemorrhage money to keep yourself in operations because we don't want you to shut down, but we don't dare want to give you $1. So, no, you get nothing, but you better stay open. It's kind of like ad block. Do you guys use that? This episode of the You're Still Here podcast, episode number 20, by the way, is brought to you by Ad Blocker. It's not, but Ad Blocker. Here's me giving Ad Blocker $1. It's a free advertisement. Ad Blocker is great, an extension on whatever web browser you use. Chrome, Safari, Brave, my personal favorite. The You're Still Here podcast is also brought to you by Brave. The closest thing you're going to get to a true incognito browser. Like they have the Brave, which is what I use, they have a private window, and then they have a second private window, like, really private window. So yeah, I would use Brave. I'm not kidding. Check it. Go to File. You can go to File, New Window. Then there's File, New Window with Brave, and then there's, I think it literally says, this is a really private window. File, this is a really private window on Brave. Let me go by. Oh, man. Sometimes I feel like I live my life like that movie Memento. I have to keep doing steps back. How did I get to this? Brave, Ad Block. Yes, because Ad Block every once in a while asks to donate $1. And despite the fact that I've used them religiously on all of my browsers to block all those annoying pop-ups, it's literally doing God's work. It asked me for $1 and I'm sick to my stomach. And it serves me right. It serves me right because you know what I am right now? I am the performer's version of Adblock and Wikipedia. I believe I'm providing some quality, in my case, entertainment. And, I'm asking for $1 here and there and, hard to come by. But if you guys subscribe to me on Patreon, that will give you the opportunity to A, have additional content, and B, choose and designate an amount that you ever want to kick up to me per month. I think I explained how Patreon works. You imagine an Instagram that you like somebody enough to the point you're willing to chuck them $1 every month. $1. Okay. And after each podcast is over, I upload an additional 10 to 15 minutes, which is exclusively for Patreon. And I also go a little more balls to the wall, a little more unfiltered. I'm willing to talk about things like masks and lockdowns and the CDC and all that stuff, all that good stuff that I just don't feel like putting out there on the public. I already got a soft ban from Instagram. I don't want the permanent one. So if I do happen to talk about that stuff, and not in a fashion where I'm talking about, here's what you got to do. If I just happen to have an opinion or a random thought, I want to be able to make a joke about people looking like they're in Outworld, like Scorpion and Sub-Zero, without being accused of one of the guys storming the Capitol. So I had mentioned using the Brave browser and the private window, and that, yo, it's just a really private window, or whatever the hell I just said. There's a website that, if you know about it, kudos to you. But this website is crazy. It's crazy. You hear all these things about facial recognition, and you see that like tool on Facebook where you can, let's deactivate the facial recognition. But you've never seen the power to which it truly can be utilized. There is a website that I saw, and I believe, I think I also just mentioned the Capitol. Supposedly this website was used to track down many of the people who stormed the Capitol. And I went to this website, and this website allows you to drag and drop any picture, and it will pull any images of this person from across all platforms of the internet. Now, if you see my demeanor starting to change, it's because I tried it and I could not freaking believe the accuracy. I took some pictures of people that I know. Like, I'm not going to tell you who I used, but I obviously wasn't mine. You think I'm putting my face on there? So I probably just illegally put somebody else's who I didn't have the, no, I don't think it's illegal. But I put somebody's image and I dragged it and dropped it onto this website called Pimeyes. Not pin. Pit's the pass. Pimeyes. Pimeyes.com. This website, you can drop a picture of anybody. And look, it doesn't have to be the original picture. Like, you know what I'm talking about? If you save a picture from online, and then, or if you right click it and search Google for image, it's trying to find exact replicas of that image, or the view similar images will kind of give you a few others of that one, but it is not giving you a laundry list of that exact person. This website allows you to drag and drop a picture that can literally be a screenshot from your iPhone. It does not have to be the original image, and it will scour the entire internet for any existing pictures of this person and find them. And it was unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I even tried somebody with a plain ass face, and it got him. So I don't even want to tell you to go to that website, but if you're into that kind of stuff, check out Pimeyes.com. If you, oh my God, the girl, that's what, oh my God, you just saw me discover something in real time. The girl from the spring break story. I don't know if I added this towards the end, but she just disappeared out of my life after that. And I've wondered about her for a long time. If I drag and drop her face in there, it's going to be... Wow. Well, okay, so now take your version of who I just discovered and go search for that person. This freaking tool's going to find them. Or how about this? I'm going to help any of you out there who are devastated because you got dumped by somebody. You got dumped by somebody and you're crushed. You barely could get to this part of the podcast. That's how sad you were. You were about to press pause on this podcast, leave the podcast, and go look at this girl's social media profile so that you can go back to the room and cry some more. But no, now instead, I give you a ray of light. This is what you do, guy who got broken up with or girl who got broken up with. Take a picture. See, I don't know if this is going to work for girls. Girls, it's not so much just about like the looks and whatnot. But if you're some guy, take a picture of whoever you were with, your ex, drag and drop her into this Pimeyes website, and it's probably going to pull her. But what it also does is it pulls true doppelgangers. True doppelgangers. So then you find a slightly cuter doppelganger of your exact girl who just broke up with you. And you see if you can pull something. I know DMing doesn't work, and I know all that stuff, but maybe, just maybe, you can make something happen. And then just imagine how good you'll feel when you have that newer Nissan Altima. You gave up the older Nissan Altima. Now you got the newer Nissan Altima. How do you think that Nissan Altima with the 60,000 miles is going to feel when she sees you pulling into town with that 15,000 mile under warranty, still under that fresh warranty? She's going to be dying on the inside. All thanks to the creepiest website known to man, PimEyes.com. But I'm not kidding. You want to freak yourself out. Go to PimEyes.com and start dragging and dropping some faces. You're going to be amazed. Well, I could not guarantee that that was a scam that will work. That's just an idea I just had in my head. How about we roll this all into one? The security and not getting caught, and online transactions and the Brave browser. Let's roll that into my scam of the week.
It's a scam.
That's a scam.
What a scam that was.
So this was all a scam, huh?
This is the prepaid debit card scam. The prepaid debit card scam. And it's exactly what you think it is. It's a prepaid debit card, or even more specifically, a prepaid gift card, a prepaid Visa card. Now, here's what you do. You purchase a prepaid Visa card that has the smallest amount on it. Like a $20 gift card. But for all intent and purposes, it's just like any other Visa card. It's got the numbers, it's got the expiration date, it's got the little 3-digit code on the back. And what you do is you spend however much you want out of that 20, that's going to leave you just a few dollars left. And then what you're going to do with that few dollars is you are going to sign up for whatever website you want. There are certain websites that this has been used for. Porn. But, with OnlyFans, I don't know. It's a little different now. But there were many websites. Or how about this? Credit reports used to be free, and then we're going to try any sort of website. The first two I thought of were porn or credit reports. Any sort of website that gives you the first month for free or the first month for 99 cents, and then it automatically rebills you after that, and they just hope you forget about it. Well, here's how to combat that with the prepaid debit card scam. You use that number to sign up for whatever website that you want to use. And all it knows is that it clears that first security deposit check or whatever, that the pre-auth on the charge. It clears that, so it clears you for access. So not only you got that full month there, many times, because it has the card on file, it will give you even more than that in an effort while it's trying to rerun the card. And then there's no way of getting back at you because there's no name linked to it. There's nothing. See, if it was your actual card, then they can escalate it further, go to collections. But when you use that prepaid debit card, and then you use the Brave browser, not the new private window that, this is a really private window. You can gain access to the services who try to screw you in the first place by doing, the first month is free, and then just, don't think about it. Hopefully you don't think about it, and then we charge you for 2 years before you realize you're getting blasted. It is the counter hook to the websites who screw you with the free first month and then $20 after that every single month. The prepaid debit card scam. Yep. And this is there's no debating that it works. You could also use this. Oh, great example. Great contemporary use for it. You noticing apps now requiring you to add a card just to make a reservation? You want to make a reservation at a place? And I get it. You know what that means? They probably had to implement that because so many people screwed them. It's just a never-ending carousel of screw jobs, huh? Like, okay, so then they took advantage of a system. They screwed a restaurant out of reservations, never showed up. So then reservations start making you put a card on hold. And then if you're just 20 minutes late, there's a 15-minute thing in the fine print, so you get charged for it, and they screwed you. So now I got to use a card, a fake card with no money on it that they can't trace back to me to screw them. It's just a never-ending screw the screwer. Screw your neighbor. It was a game that I actually used to play with some of my friends. But yeah, it's all about screw your neighbor and musical chairs and hot potato all rolled into one. Screw your neighbor's potatoes. Yeah. So what you do is you use one of these prepaid cards with the $1 left on it, and then that will allow you to hold a reservation at the finest restaurant in New York City. You need the prepaid debit card, gift card, Visa card, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm talking about. You walk it by it every single time at CVS. So yes, the prepaid debit card scam. So we got a new term from the kids. We got a new term that the kids be using. Have you heard this one? It's making rounds on the Gen Z circuits. It's called Cheugy.
Cheugy.
Cheugy. That's the new one.
I don't consider myself a total chug, but we've all been there.
As far as I understand, Cheugy is kind of like trying to act cool, but you're so cliche about it. Like something is like if I uploaded a pumpkin spice latte in October.
Cheugy.
Oh, how cheugy, you're a chug. That's so chug. And, there's all the subtle variations.
I, too, have
It's
fallen
like
victim to the chug.
You're going a little too far with what you think is trendy, but you're not reading between the lines. You're kind of corny about it. Mixed with a little okay boomer. You're trying to act young. It's all of that kind of rolled into one.
Cheugy.
There is no hard definition. There's no hard definition for it. Like I remember when my grandma used to tell me, "Oh, and you are simpatico." There is no true simpatico translation. There is, but it doesn't embody what the actual meaning is, if that makes sense. Because it's like there's multiple emotions attached. If you add those and kind of roll them into a ball, that's simpatico, and that's what this cheugy is. You're trying to act a little too, you're trying to be, your clothes, everything, your social media, everything is just emitting chug. Now, someone like me, like I have no problem kind of adapting here and there. How often have you ever heard me say, "Oh, yo, that's fire. That's fire." And that one's fine. That one's fine. But like, how many times have you heard me say anything contemporary? Like, "Oh, those lips, though. Oh, them legs, though." You ain't going to hear me just try to adapt something that I deem as shit. Okay? You can go on morning television on NBC. You can go to the most PC-laden show and go, "Cheugy," and they'll allow it right on the show. Nickelodeon could have a Cheugy marathon tomorrow, and it will be allowed. Go run some of the lyrics from yesteryear and try to get some of our terms on there. Yeah, ain't happening. My opinion on all these things, if it tickles me a little bit and I like it, it just rolls off my tongue, then I'll say it. No problem. No problem at all. But I make up better shit than these people. Like, they're calling everything cheugy. If you've known me at any point in my life, I literally was saying this in 8th grade. I still say it to this day. My cheugy is Crusty. Crusty, yes, like Krusty the Clown, or like, Pauly Shore said it in the early 90s when he was doing, like, he used to call people Crusty.
She finds you crusty, Dave.
I use Crusty all the time, and it, like cheugy, has a variety of meanings. More like, so Crusty, let me tell you, if you do understand what cheugy is, here's what Crusty is. Now, typically, Crusty is affiliated with an overall state of not good. Something's not good. The most basic use of Crusty is a hangover. Like, "Yo, Andy, how you feel?" "Oh, I'm crusty." That's the most basic use of it. There are levels to crusty in terms of feeling. Like, in feeling crusty, there's crusty. Then, if you're even worse than that, it's full crust. "Oh, I'm full crust." Full crust today. If you're even worse than that, it's pure crust. Like, literally, this is my fantasy football team name in the league that I play with all the kids I've known since childhood. It's pure crust. Or the situation. A feeling or a situation. Dude, like, how was that bar? Dude, we walked in there, pure crust. And that defines a lot of things. There was nobody attractive. There was empty. It sucked. It was hot. Pure crust. There's only one level up from pure crust. And this one, it's never even used. Really, this is saved for like maybe 3 times in your whole life. And it's the epitome of crust. That's what it would be. It was the epitome of crust. How was my college experience in Boston? The epitome of crust. No, I'm just kidding. It was not. It was not even close. It was full crust. That was my college because I had good friends. I liked the school for the most part. Full crust. Might even just be standard crust. So are you with me on this? So crusty, it defines how you're feeling or a situation like, oh, that was crusty. I can only imagine what you people are thinking right now. But look, this comes on the back of them bringing out this Cheugy. It's so similar. Cheugy, crusty. How about that, by the way? How about that? They say that somebody's Cheugy because they're kind of like too cliche and they try to hop in on bandwagons, but they don't read the room. Yet, if I check these people's profiles, they weren't using Cheugy 2 weeks ago. They weren't using Cheugy 2 months ago. And now they're incorporating it. If you're f***ing talking Cheugy, you're a front and center Cheug status. But meanwhile, right here, this crust, full crust, pure crust, I've been crusty for decades, okay? I've been crusty since orchestra class, full crust back of the room. All right? You're Cheugy, I'm crusty, and I'm happy to admit it. What the hell am I talking about? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to get those 5 minutes back. But feel free to look up on your own time and accord this whole Cheugy thing.
Anything made by BuzzFeed. Cheugy.
All right, I say that's just about enough for me, right? I have a bad inner clock. I don't know. Have I been on here 15, 10, 20, 80? I don't know. I think one time one of my friends got pulled over and he was sober and he was asked if he was drunk and he was told, hey, count to 60 and let me know when it's 60 seconds. What, are you out of your mind? I wouldn't be able to get that. I might take 4 minutes. I don't know. So I'm supposed to sit there and go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 60? No, I'm not doing that. So I don't know how long this is. I hope I wasn't just recording for 8 minutes because I don't even know. But anyway, I'd like to thank you for coming back for another episode of the podcast. There will be some bonus material on the Patreon. So remember, come over to there, patreon.com/Andy Francess. The water's warm. I set it to 70. Okay, room temperature. So that you guys can enjoy it. I post some stuff on there that I think you guys will like. Please join me. And obviously, the more I can build that, the more it gives me a safety net in case something happens to my other social media platforms. And it's also a way, if you think I'm doing a good job, to throw me a couple bones, throw me a tip like one of your bartenders. Think about it. The people closest to you in your life probably put no smiles on your face this whole week. Oh, how morbid is that? But if it's true, and you got one chuckle out of this, Pitts the pass! Then, you can tip me like your bartender, all right? Feel free to do what you want to do. All right, guys, take it easy. I will see you next week, and let's go Islanders, because it's playoff time, and I'm getting ready to go crazy. Today was game 1. The Islanders won, and I went absolutely nuts. I don't think they're going to be able to make the deepest of runs this year, but you never know. Maybe my brother's pulling some strings up there. Mike, I hope you are. I don't know if you can, though, but let's go Islanders, and hopefully by the time I record next week, they're not out of it yet. Take it easy.
I recently learned what the word Cheugy means, and here are some things that I think are Cheugy. Don't be offended if these are things you like. I too have fallen victim to the Cheug.